What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Resurgent in Faith podcast with your host, Trey Wade. And if I sound different today, it's because I actually have my retainers in, which is something that I've been trying to get more disciplined about. I really hate putting my retainers in because the more I put them in, the more I have to clean them. And for me to be eating a lot, like I'm still supposed to be wearing them every day. I'm supposed to wear them every day, majority of the day. Um, I was supposed to wear them for 6 months like that, and I still have not made my 6 month mark. I literally have went weeks without wearing my retainers. One, they're like uncomfortable, like I'm literally chewing on plastic. And then two, like I said again, I have to clean them so often because of how much I eat. So it's either don't eat as much or clean your retainers. And I'm not going to stop eating because I'm a big boy at heart. Like I might not look at how skinny I am, but I am literally a fat kid at heart. But anyways, as y'all already know, I have my notes here so I don't get off track. So if you see me looking down, you probably can see it on the camera. I'm not sure because I'm using the back of my phone, and I hate using that but I hate using it because I can't see myself. But not they say, it is the best camera to use. But that's neither here nor there. But today's episode is going to be on leadership and what I kind of had to learn. Actually, this is heavily influenced from the With the Parish podcast. I think they had on Dr. Crawford Lawrence. If you can go look it up on YouTube, it's a great episode to watch, and I do highly suggest that you watch it. But for me, anyways, listening to the actual episode, I realized that I love leading. I've always loved to lead, although I didn't know what leadership looked like. But I always loved to lead. I just always hated the fact that people literally rely. Like, leading would means people are literally connected to you, if that makes sense. I hated that part of knowing that if I'm going to lead, there are going to be other people connected to me. I literally hate that. I don't like being accounted for others people's either downfall. I don't like being accounted for even just the fact that, if I mess up, they might mess up. And that draws me back to when I first came to my dad's house, or not really first came to my dad's house. Yeah, actually it was around the first time I came to my dad's house, because that's when I was like first so zealous over God. And I was kind of moving at a rapid pace. I believe in one of my episodes, if not, I'm going to let you know now. My word this year has been pace, which is something I didn't have then. I didn't have pacing then. But when I came to my dad's house, I was kind of that person who was like always in my Bible and stuff. Basically the way I am now, but just more zealous, I guess. Like, I don't know how to explain it to you. But if you have went through that, you'll most likely understand. But I literally got like a lot, like my brothers and even my friend, like we talking about the Bible more, talking about God more, and just in the Word, like trying to get them to read the Bible more. And it's like as soon as I fell off from reading the Bible because I kind of feel like when you're on this spiritual journey, your faith goes up and it goes down. It's like it's not just a here or a steady incline. It's not that. But when I fell off, everybody else in the house fell off, and it was like, okay, this doesn't feel good. Like, I could literally be the cause of so many other people's falling off. And that's not even that's not even talking about just spiritually itself. Like, in any case, being a leader, you could be, and I could be, the reason somebody else falls off their pivot. And I did not like that at all. And I was like mainly doing it in my own strength. Why wouldn't I? Like, I wasn't really taught how to lead growing up. I didn't really have a good. I'm trying to figure out how to say this the right way. I didn't have a good role when it came to leadership, in a sense. For me, I feel like my dad should show me. My mom showed me the best that she could. And my mom was a great leader. I'm not going to lie to you. My mom has shown me everything that I knew about being a leader. But she can only show me so much as a man. You know what I mean? But I didn't really, my whole point was saying I didn't really have a strong person until more recently of what a leader actually looks like. And how to have not only lead in your own strength, but allow God to lead through you, because that's when you really are able to do the best leading possible. Because who better than the ultimate leader? You know what I mean? As I think about leader, it really draws me back to when I was young. I was really young, and a lot of people. I'm not gonna say a lot of people, but my family. I know I'm going there, but I'm trying to figure out how to say this the rest. But I was the one who always made the good grades. Everybody looked at me to kind of be like, why can't you be like Trey? Or like I was the person when it comes to the scholarly role, people looked up to me too. Like, you need to be like this person, and that was a big burden on me in itself. I did not like that. Again, like I've already been saying, I do not like being a leader. I mean, I love being a leader. I don't like the burden that it costs on you. But now it brings me the question: Is that? Let me see how to say this. Is that the real cost of being a leader? Carrying that burden. And if that is, why is it such a burden on me? And the only way I can answer that question is because, again, I was doing it in my own strength. But back to what I was saying, my leadership was always there. Most of the people who lead, or a lot of people, especially in the episode I was watching, Dr. Crawford literally said that he knew he was a leader from the start. I wasn't like that. Growing up, I always followed my brothers. It kind of felt like I didn't really have a mind of my own other than in school, because literally, even then, I didn't have a mind of my own then. Like, you literally just regurgitate what you learn in textbooks. So I didn't feel like I was a leader. I didn't feel like I was capable of leading anybody. I actually was more of a follower then, honestly. And that leads me to my next point, is that although I had that leadership when I was young, my character had to be built. And oddly enough, my pastor was preaching on that this Sunday. He was just talking about, one of the talking points was there are three things that God would like to build in you. And it was composure, which, of course, that's something that God is still working on me on. Your composure, your character, and what was the last one? It was composure, character, and cravings. I'm going to focus on the character because that's literally, I did not notice that until I actually was like writing my notes for this. And honestly, I wrote my notes for this way before I even, listened or went to church to hear that word. And it's just mind blowing how them two correlate with each other. Like how I wrote this way before, and how I wrote this way before, and like how now it literally goes along with what I'm talking about today, which is really odd. But that's how God works, apparently. Not really apparently, but it's like I said. Anyways, I have an issue with correcting myself a lot, because I don't know. I can't even tell you why. Back to leadership. He had to be my character. Is what I was saying. And that took a long time. I believe in my first episode, I was telling you that it wasn't until I went to this networking event where I learned that I had all these different types of gifts. Like I had all these gifts. I have a gift of communication. I can be a leader. I didn't know that I can be a leader, but I can be a leader. And I'm very much outgoing. Like, those are things that I didn't know until recently. And that leads me to let you people know, you who are watching, that if you have these gifts, sometimes, one, you might not realize that you have them gifts, so you have to build your character. And two, you will never always know. You won't always know the gifts that you have until that character is built sometimes. So, did I say that twice? I don't know. I'm trying to remember everything without trying to look at the notes. I'm trying to get better at not looking at my notes, but it feels like I'm failing, and I hate failing. But anyways, but in one of the main things that really stuck with me was in that video, I believe he said, leadership is more of a stewardship. In order for me to lead, I have to steward what I'm leading. And I can go into all the scriptures that talks about that, and even just the scriptures of God leading. But I'm not going to do that because, one, there's a lot of scriptures on leading. And then two, that's not my point. That's not my point right now. But it will be always part of the assignment. If you are called to be a leader, it will always be a part of the assignment that you have to steward, and all that frustration, all that stuff that you get, like I get, the wearisome, it's literally all a part of that, and it's literally helping strengthen you to be a better leader. And like I said here, serving is still the foundation of all of that. In order for you to be a good leader, you have to serve. Serving is literally directly tied to your leadership. Because one, serving will help you understand what it truly means to be a leader from looking at the leaders that you are serving. And then two, it will encourage more people to follow that same thing, to serve. And that ties back to my last episode. Serving to be a literal big part of your life. And the last thing pretty much is it's growing. Today, each and every day is growing in me. Although I hate being a leader, I am literally forced and pushed into ways that I can be more of a leader. Like, even thinking for myself, like I had an issue with making decisions. But those are things that you have to do in order to be a leader. And I'm being constantly pushed and being molded and being tested and being strengthened in those areas to be a better leader. And I'm going to say, forget even like thinking about the burdens. God can take that burden from you. Focus on being the best leader that you can be. Focus on showing up 100%. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Thank you. Focus on showing up 100% of the times to do what you're called to do. If you're called to be a leader, then just show up, try to be a leader the best way you know how. You're going to stumble, you're going to fall, you're going to make mistakes. That's all in a learning process. If you think about it, in order to be a good entrepreneur, you have to be a good leader. And that's going back to my last episode too. So I'm going to leave you with this question. Dang it, I lost the question. What does being a good leader mean to you? And for me, it's like leadership isn't always about loving the role. It's about accepting the weight, building the character, and letting God lead through you instead of doing it alone. So that's another question. In what ways are you allowing God to lead through you so that you can become a better leader? And that's pretty much all I have to say for today, guys. Like I said, I'm trying to get better. I'm really am trying to get better with not like remembering my notes and just being able to regurgitate it out, like without looking down so much. But that does come with the time. This is literally my third episode. And I'm not good at looking at my notes. I'm not good at remembering my notes. My brain does not work to keep my notes in my head. That's why I have to type them out. That's why I have to write them down. And that's okay. But I know I'm will learn more and more I go. But thank you guys for tuning in and watching. I post my audio every Wednesday, and the visuals we posted here on YouTube every Thursday. If you enjoyed this episode, I hope that you like and share and comment. I love to have these debates, no matter where you're from. If you're not a believer in Christ, I would love to have this conversation with you too, because what does a leader look like for you? It could be the same, but still comment. I would love to have these debates and just talk about being a leader, because even in that, we all teach each other more about leadership. We all have different views of leadership, and everybody could learn from it. Not just me, but other people in the comments could learn from it. So please comment down below. Or you can just tell me about a time where you failed at being a leader. I ain't welcome at all, basically, is what I'm saying. I don't want to keep rambling on about the same thing, but I just welcome it all. And that's a wrap on this one. Another episode. I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye.